Hello everyone, welcome to this video series wherein we will be dealing and discussing different aspects of number system. So this is a basic part of the series wherein we'll introduce you to the number system. We'll also go through some definitions or classification of number system. Apart from this, I mean under this broader number system category, apart from this we deal with different aspects like the concept of uh, divisibility, then multiples and factors, base system, factorization, and various more things. So to start with, we just first we'll have a look at the number system. What are the basic concepts behind those, and how can we classify basically a number system? So here we can see a number system can be broadly classified. There are two, I mean, a number system can be broadly classified into two things, real number and complex number. Since complex number is out of purview for as far as our discussion is concerned, so we will limit ourselves to the real numbers. So now coming back to real numbers, this is a real number. What is real number, that we'll see in the subsequent slide. But real numbers can be classified broadly into two parts, rational number and irrational number. We'll also keep on discussing briefly here what is rational, what is irrational, and further classifications in detail. We'll see in the subsequent slide. So, what is rational number? Any number which can be classified in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. So this is a rational number. Any number which can be represented in form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. What is integer? Integers are such numbers which do not have decimal in it. So say, I mean, if I write 5.0 or 5, then this is integer, whereas 4.3 is a decimal, means not a integer. So integer can be positive, negative, that we'll see subsequently. But here a rational number is something which can be represented in p by q form. P and q are integers and q not equal to 0. So what is irrational number? Irrational number is something which cannot be represented in the form of p by q, where q not equal to 0 and p and q are integers. So the numbers which are not rational simply means those are irrational number. Okay, now coming back here, rational number can further be classified into two categories. One is integers, other is non-integers. Okay, so as I just told some time back, integers are those numbers which do not have decimal in it, like -3, 150, 1209, 5, etc. are integers, -9. So these are integers, right? Whereas what are non-integers? Numbers which have decimal in it are non-integers, like 3.5, 4.9, -4.73, of this sort. Now, integer. Integer can be classified into two categories broadly: positive numbers and negative numbers. Negative numbers means any number which is less than 0, and whole number which is less than greater than equal to 0. So what are the whole numbers? All the numbers which are greater than equal to 0. By number means counting number, means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So these are whole numbers. Now see, whole number can further be divided into two categories. One is this 0 part and rest is the others. So 0 we can keep separate, and others, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are called natural numbers. This we also called commonly as counting numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. Now just to write here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. 1 to now natural numbers, these natural numbers, they can further be classified into three categories. Those are either one is unit number which is 1, then prime number, What are prime numbers? This we'll see in detail in subsequent slide, but just to give a brief, prime numbers are those numbers which have only two factor, one and the number itself. So such numbers are prime number like 2, 3, 5, 7, 13. What are composite numbers? Those numbers which the number of factors are more than two factors. Okay, more than two factors are composite numbers. This we'll see in detail further. Now coming back to the non-integer classification, which is decimals. So decimal can further be classified into finite terminating decimal and infinite non-terminating decimals. Okay, this we can remove from here. So finite or terminating decimal means a decimal like say 1.2, 5.4, 6.57, 103.75. So here we can see all the numbers of decimals, fine, and all the decimal terminates either at one place or two place, or it can terminate at three place, 111.775. Three decimal terminates here at third place. So this way, these are decimals where the number of digits after decimal is finite. Okay, whereas infinite non-terminating decimal can have 1.232323 and so on, non-terminating decimal. Similarly, it can be another example could be say 5.1352697 something. So this is also non-terminating. I mean, we don't know where the number of digits after decimal will end. So this can further be classified into two category: non-terminating recurring and non-terminating non-recurring. So this we will see in subsequent slide. But what do we mean by recurring and non-recurring? Is if in recurring we see a pattern like here 2 3 2 3, it's repeating, though it's repeating infinitely, but the same pattern is repeating. So this can be classified as recurring. But non-recurring means we cannot find any given pattern here like 5.1352697 something. So this is also infinite, but this is non-recurring. So hence this is the broader classification of a number system. Now we will deal into each one of them individually in greater detail. So now we will see into a concept called number line. What is number line? This we will see. Number line is a straight line which extends from minus infinity to infinity, center being 0. Okay, so left hand side is all the negative numbers. I mean, left of 0 are all numbers less than 0, means negative numbers, and right hand side are positive numbers. Okay, this is one property, and say this we can write as -1 1, equidistant 2 3, so on. Here -2, -3, -4, so on. Now one property of this number system is, see, the difference between each individual block 0 and 1 would be same as 1 and 2 would be same as 2 and 3. So if you have to find the distance between 2 points on number line, what you need to do, say suppose you want to find the difference between -3 and 1, distance between -3 and 1, -3 and 1 on number line. What is the distance? This distance. So this is nothing but simply subtract the smaller number from the higher number. What is the higher number? 1 minus. What is the smaller number? -3. So distance becomes 4 units of distance. So similar, this is one of the property. And number 9 is a 9 which is used to represent all the numbers of a number system or the real numbers. So similarly, vice versa, we can say what are real numbers, though we have seen the broader classification just a while back, but real numbers are those numbers which can be represented on a number system. So it means कि all the numbers which can be represented on number system are real number. This means कि the complex number, the other part of the number system, I mean one part is real number, the other part is complex number. So it means कि complex number cannot be represented on number system. So real number is numbers which can be represented on number line. Oh, so this is it. Now we will see into detail the various classification of number system which we saw just a while back. So we started with real number. Real number can be classified broadly into two parts, rational number and irrational number. So here we'll see the definition of rational number. So as I told at the point of classification, rational number is any number which can be represented in form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. Okay, so those all those numbers are called rational number. Let us see what could be the example. If I say here example I have given 2, so each 2 a rational number? Yes, because we can write 2 as 2 by 1, where 2 and 1 both are integers and 1 is not equal to 0, hence this satisfied the criteria for being a rational number. Similarly, can we say 22 by 7 as a rational number? Yes, because both 22 and 7 belongs to integer and 7 not equal to 0. Hence, it satisfies the criteria for being a rational number. Similarly, if I say, take another example of 4.5, is it a rational number? Yes, because if I convert this decimal into fraction, I hope you know how to convert. I mean, we just take this decimal off, and for this, I write 1, and the number of digit after the decimal, same number of 0 I put here. So this becomes, if I simplify this, 9 by 2. So 9 by 2 is a rational number because both 9 and 2 are integers and 2 not equal to 0. And see, so this 9 by 2 is a pure form of rational number, whereas if we had just keep this 4.5 as 45 by 10 without further simplifying, this is also a rational number, because but not in the simplest form, but this is also a rational number. Because why? Because 45 and 10 both are integers and 10 not equal to 0. So I think broadly you have understood what are rational numbers. Now coming to irrational number. So the numbers which are not rational are therefore irrational number. So in a way we can say all those numbers which cannot be expressed in a form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0, all such numbers are called irrational number. Now if I take example, say this pi. If you know pi is a constant which we generally use in geometry. So pi, which is represented this way, has a value which is 3.14159. This is a non-ending. So this is a what? This is a decimal. This is a non-terminating decimal. The number of digits after decimal does not terminate at any point. It keeps on going on, and there's no given pattern of any digit after decimal. So this is a non-recurring. So hence this is a irrational number because this cannot be converted in the form of p by q. Means had we know how many digits are there after decimal, and if there is any pattern, then we could have converted it into fraction the way we did here in the case of 4.5. But here, since we do not know how many digits are there after that, and even the digits are not of any exhibiting any pattern, they are non-recurring, so this cannot be converted in the fraction form of p by q. Similarly, e is known as epsilon, which is used in the logarithm and all we'll see in the those subsequent video lectures. So here e is 2.71828. It keeps on going further. So this is also a non-terminating and non-recurring decimal. Hence, this is also an irrational number. Further, if we say square root of 3, this is 1.732 and so on. This is also non-recurring, non-terminating decimal, and hence this is an irrational number. Same way for root 5, root 2 and all. For a matter of information, the square root of all the numbers which are non-perfect square are irrational number. If n is non-perfect number, so if n is not a perfect square number, what are perfect square number? Perfect square number are like 16, 4, 25, which are a square of any number, the square of any integer to be very precise. So what are perfect square? Perfect squares are the square of any integer. So non-perfect square means ki square of what? Which are, I mean, so those numbers which are non-perfect square, so those numbers are basically non-perfect square, and their square root will be always a irrational number because those are typically non-terminating and non-recurring in nature. We will see further into this in the subsequent slides. Now, integers. Integers, as I told, are those numbers which do not have decimal in it. So say if I write 5, 5 does not have decimal, so this is an integer. If I write minus 3 does not have any decimal, so though being negative, this is an integer. But if I write minus 4.9, this has a decimal here, so this is non-integer. Similarly, if I write say 5.0, is it a decimal or an integer? This is also decimal or integer because 5.0 is nothing but 5, so hence this is also integer. But had I written 5.1, so this is not a integer, this is a decimal because it's a 0.1. So hence, I mean, this concept I believe would be simple. All the non-decimal numbers, either positive or negative, are integers. What are non-integers? All the decimal numbers are non-integers. So as I took the example of say 5.1, this is decimal, I mean non-integer. Similarly, minus 4.3, minus 3.2, minus 8.9, 120.35, 193.43, and so on. Now, if I convert this, so these are all, I mean, decimal. Now we should also, I mean, I just go through a process wherein we can convert these decimals into a fraction. So conversion of decimal into fraction. We see the process. I mean, I know this is very basic, but just for the sake of those who do not know this, we'll discuss it very short here. So suppose I want to convert 5.1, this one, into fraction. So what is the method? 5.1, to take this decimal off, for this decimal I put 1 here, and 1 I write, and Then denominator I add the number of 0. The number of 0 will be same as the number of digits after decimal. So it will be 51 by 10. Similarly, had it been, say, this example we will take 193 upon 0.43. This is what? When 19343 we have taken up off decimal. So for that we will place 1, and how many digits are there after decimal? 2 digits, 4 and 3. So for those two we will place 20. So this is a fraction form of the decimal. Same way, if we have to write as say suppose another example, say suppose we had negative numbers, we take minus 3.2. So here it's a bit tricky. So how we write this as minus 4 plus 0.8, right? So minus 4 plus 0.8. So this can be minus 4 plus zero point 0.8, that we can convert into fraction as 8 upon 10, because to take off decimal here we write 1 and there's only one digit, that is 8 after a decimal, so 0. So this becomes what? Minus 40 plus 8 minus 32 by 10. So did we see? I mean, this is the process. So from here we can get key even minus 3.2 we can directly write as minus 32 and take off the decimal 1 and write 0, right? So I mean, just I could derive here and show you that this is also negative is also same as the positive, the way of conversion. So similarly, if I write here, take another example, say minus 4.3. So this is nothing but minus 43 upon, say, let it be minus 4.379. So 4379 I would have written, and to take off this decimal I place 1 here, and how many digits are there after decimal? 3 digits, 379. So for those 3 digits I input 30. So this becomes your required fractional form. So I hope this is clear. Now moving to the non-integers. I mean, just continuing on to this non-integer thing. So as we saw, non-integers can be of two type. I mean, decimal can be of two type. One is finite, another is non-finite. Right. So finite or terminating decimal, infinite or non-terminating decimal. Finite or terminating decimal. What is finite or terminating decimal? As I discussed earlier, finite or terminating decimals are those decimals which have a finite number of digit after decimal. So say if I take an example of 75.325. So this has a finite number of digits after decimal, that is 3 digits only. Similarly, if I take 3.2, it has also a finite number of digits after decimal, that is 1. 4.3675. So this has also finite number of digits after decimal, that is 4. So all the digits, I mean digits after decimal terminates at one point. But if we see in the case of infinite or non-terminating, those cases are like they do not appear to be terminating at any. So if I take an example of say 1 by 3, which is nothing but 0.3333 keeps on going. So here the number of digits after decimal is infinite. It does not end or terminate at any given place. So this is a non-terminating decimal. Similarly, if I write 0.434343 and so on, this is also a non-terminating decimal. It keeps on going. It does not terminate anywhere. So this we know ki what is the difference between terminating and non-terminating decimal or finite or infinite decimals. Now further infinite decimals can be broken into two parts as I have discussed earlier also in brief, that is recurring and non-recurring. So we will see कि what is recurring. Recurring is कि say suppose if I write this 0.3333, so this is a recurring decimal, right? I mean same digit 3 is repeating always, right? So this it keeps on going on. Similarly, if I take another example of this 4.3.4343, so this is also I mean recurring 0.434343, same number is repeating, 43 is repeating infinite times. So this is also a recurring decimal. What are non-recurring decimals? We just learnt about pi, 3.14 something something, right? So keeps on recurring and sorry, non-recurring and infinite. So as we saw, I mean if we just see this pi 3.14159 159 and so on. So even the digits are not repeating, we cannot find any pattern here, and the number of decimals, number of digits after decimal is also infinite. So this is called non-terminating and non-recurring decimal. Non-terminating because the number of digits after decimal are infinite, and non-recurring because we cannot find any pattern of repetition. So these numbers are irrational basically. These are irrational number. We have seen that earlier. Irrational number. These are rational number. Why we will see later on. Okay. Now similarly, epsilon we had seen 2.78 something. It keeps on repeating. Root 3 1.732, root 2, root 5, and all these examples are non-terminating, non-recurring. Now, if we see what is the process to convert the non-terminating recurring decimals in P by Q form. So, first of all, can we also convert the non-terminating non-recurring? Non-terminating non-recurring. Can we convert this? Can I convert 3.14159 something? No, because we why cannot we convert this into a P by Q form? Because we do not know what is the number of digit after decimal and what are the pattern. So for that reason we cannot convert this in P by Q form, and hence this is an irrational number. But in case of non-terminating recurring decimals, here we can see. So I mean just take the example which we had taken 0.3333 and so on. This is n. So can we write this as if I say one digit is repeating, 3 is repeating n number of times. So we can write as 10n is equal to 3.333 so on. Okay. This number we can write as 3 plus 0.3333 so on. This number is nothing but this n. So we can write 10n is equal to what? 3 plus n. So 9n is equal to 3. N is equal to 3 by 9, which is 1 by 3. So this way we have been able to convert this recurring non-terminating decimal into a fraction 1 by 3, which is in form of p by q, and q not equal to 0, and hence this is a rational number. Fine. Okay. Let us take another example. If n is equal to another example we took as 4 3 4 3 4 3 and so on. So here two digits are repeating, 4 3 is repeating, so we multiply this with 100 and 100 times on both side of equation, so it becomes 100 n is equal to 43.434343, so it's repeating. So this part is nothing but basically 0.43.43 is nothing but n. So this is what, 43 plus n, 100 n is equal to, so it means ki 99 n is equal to 43. It means n is equal to 43 by 99, right? So this way we have been able to convert this into p by q form, where p and q both are integers and q not equal to 0, thereby this is a rational number. Okay, fine. Now we will take another example. If I can delete this. Hmm. Yeah. So now taking another example, say if the number is n is equal to 1.434343. So again it is repeating. So what would have been the process to convert this into p by q form? We can write n is equal to 1 plus 0.434343 and so on, which is nothing but 1 plus. Now we have seen to convert, we can write 0.434343 as nothing but 43 by 99 from this example 2. So this is nothing but 43 by 99. So we can write n is equal to what, 99 plus 43 is 142 by 99. This also we have been able to convert into the p by q form. Hence this is also a rational number. Now take another example. Like suppose n is equal to 1.14343. Let's suppose this is 3.1434343, so on. So what can you write this? This you can write as what? This is repeating, two digits are repeating, right? So again we will multiply with 100 on both sides. 100 n is equal to 100 n is what? 100 n is equal to 31.434343, so on. It's repeating now, and this we know, okay, this we can write as 31 plus 0.434343. This all thing can be written as from here 43 by 99. 43 by 99. So what does this become? This is 31 into 99. We can multiply this. 3100 minus 30 is how much? Sorry, 3100 minus 31 is 3069 plus 43 upon 99. So this becomes 3112 by 99. मतलब 100 n is equal to this. So n becomes, sorry, this is 10 n. Only we'll multiply with 10. Then we'll get 31.4343. Right? Sorry. This is only single n. Yeah. So n becomes 3112 by 99 and 0. This 10 will come here. So this is a form which we have got. Now we have seen four examples, different examples, and we have been able to convert to a respective rational form using a method. Method was simple. If I mean one digit was repeating, we will multiply that with 110. Here two digits was repeating, we multiply with 100n. Now here 1.43 we can rearrange at 1 plus 0.43 something, and here in case of n is equal to 3.14 something. So here what we did, we first uh, rearrange this 3.14 as 31 point a recurring decimal. So to make it 31, we multiplied this with one single 10 on both sides, and 0.4343 we know what is 4.43, that is 43 by 99. So this way we have been able to do. But this is a, I mean, a conventional approach to convert every or any decimal into any non-terminating recurring decimal into a fraction form. But is there some way to convert it directly? So that we will see here. So there is a formula actually. So now we will see on the examples. First was 0.3333. So it says ki it can be written as numerator upon denominator. Numerator is nothing but number found by writing on the digits 1. So what is the digits here? Only 3 is the digit, 3, minus number formed by writing on the non-recurring part ones. I mean only one digit we have 3, and that 3 is also recurring. So no non-recurring digits. So 0 upon. What is denominator? Number of nines equal to number of recurring digits. How many recurring digits are there? Only one recurring digit, that is 3. So we will write 1 9, followed by number of zeros equal to non-recurring digits after decimal. Do we have any non-recurring digits after decimal? After decimal we have only 3, and that is recurring. So no so no 0. So it becomes 3 by 9, which is same as 1 by 3, which we had got in the previous through using previous conventional approach. This is one example. Then we had taken what, 0.434343. So now again we are uh, let us take as x is equal to 0.43. So we will convert this into fraction numerator upon denominator using this formula. So what does this say? Ki, number of number found by writing all the digits 1. What are the digit? How many digit? How many different digits are here? Only two digits are there, 4 and 3. Okay, minus number formed by writing on the non-recurring parts 1. Do we have any non-recurring digits? No, we have 4 and 3, and both the digits are recurring. So here it is 0. Now by denominator we have the number of nines, which is same as the number of recurring digits. So how many recurring digits we have? We have 43, which has two digits basically. So we will have two nines. And do we need to have a 0? No. Because number of zeros equal to non-recurring digits after decimal. So how many non-recurring digits do we have after decimal? No. We have after decimal only 4 and 3, and both are recurring. So no 0 we will have here. So this becomes 43 by 99. Very simple. Now another example we take. The next example was, I think, 1.4343. 1.434343, and so on. So if we want to convert this, what is the process? We will write on the number formed by writing all the digits once. So how many digits we have? Different digits. We have 1, 4, and 3, and rest is repeating. So we write 1, 4, and 3 minus. Now what will we subtract? The number formed by writing all the non-recurring parts. So in this number, how many digits are non-recurring? 4 is recurring, 3 is recurring, only 1 is not recurring. So we minus 1. Now by now, what is the number of 0? Number of 0, sorry, number of 9 should be same as the number of recurring digits. Number of recurring digits is 2. So we have two nines. Should we have 0? For zeros, we should have some non-recurring digits after decimal. Do we have any non-recurring digits after decimal? No. So we have no zeros here. So it becomes 142 by 99. This is same as what we had got here, 142 by 99. Similarly, we'll take the last example, which is uh, 3.14343, 3.1434343, and so on. So if we want to convert this into n by d form, what is this? How many numbers are what is the number we can form? We have 3 1 and then 4 3 is repeating, so we will write as 3 1 4 3. So number formed by writing all the digits once, 3 1 4 3, minus how many uh, what is the number formed by writing the all the non-recurring parts? So 43 here is recurring. What is non-recurring is 31. So this we will subtract, minus upon denominator will have number of nines equal to the number of digits recurring. How many digits are recurring? 4343 is recurring. So that becomes two digit, two nines we will have. And what about number of zeros after 9? How many digits, how many zeros should we have? The number of zeros after 9 will be same as the number of digits after decimal which are not recurring. So after decimal only one is this number digit which is not recurring. So we will have 10. So this becomes how much? 3112 by 990. So this would be same as what we got here, 3112990. So hence, I mean, both the processes we have seen, that is the conventional method. This is the formula driven method. If you remember this, through this we can do it in just a fraction of a time. So hope this is useful. Now we'll continue with the other parts of the this number system. Thanks.